I remember when I was a kid, I got this book brought home by my father. It's about the solar system. It's a picture book. Some of them are actual, some of them are just illustrations, and it has pictures of planets and moon and rocket. What I really like about that book is the picture of the Saturn V rocket. Because I was a kid back then, I thought it was Saturn V because it's the Roman numeral 5. So Saturn V rocket there was pictured and illustrated clearly with its parts. I really like that book, and I really like the idea of science being used to explore what is out there. I was watching this series in uh, in TV, and the title is For All Mankind, and I will show you a clip. And it's a fictional scene about a historical person. The person is named Werner von Braun. And Werner von Braun, apparently, he's the one behind the design, the construction of the Saturn V rocket. The rocket that brought Americans to the moon. It's the rocket that was used by the Apollo 11 mission. And ironically, he's also the man who created the V 2 rocket, the rocket that was used to bomb London during World War II. The man who enabled mankind to reach out to space, to have greater knowledge, and have all those good things. He was responsible for the death of lots of people. And in the fictional scene, it was showed that it's despicable to be responsible for that, even though he achieved greater things for the Americans, even though he achieved greater things for mankind. People frowned. People did not like the idea that his part of the death and torture of so many lives. It's it's unthinkable. It's despicable. And the lesson that we can get there is that us, humanity, we do not want to pursue progress at the cost of our character. If our character is questionable, if our character is rotten, then it makes everything questionable. It reduces the value of the progress that we have achieved. Again, we must not pursue progress at the cost of our character, because who we are matters more than what we have. That's why in science, there's such a thing called ethics. Ethics is not scientific, ethics is more philosophical, but ethics puts a cap on science. This is what you can experiment on, this is what you cannot experiment on. This is what you can do, this is what you cannot do. This is what you're allowed to explore, this is not what you're allowed to explore, because these things, it belongs to life. These things are sacred. These things, you do not touch this, because if you go beyond that, it will destroy who you really are. Your character, your integrity will be in question. Your integrity must not be sacrificed in your pursuit of prosperity. And it's true in whatever aspect of life. If you think about it, you must not sacrifice your character and integrity in pursuit of higher grades, in pursuit of greater wealth. Honesty is so important. And we know that because we live by these standards. We don't want other people to be dishonest with us. But when it's our turn, sometimes we get so tempted to be dishonest just so we can have progress, just so we can have prosperity. Is it worth it? We are willing to do it if it's to our own benefit. But if we are on the receiving end of the dishonesty, if we are on the receiving end of torture, of ethical violations, we don't like it. And we have this standard because we have this idea that this is bad, this is good. This is what's not acceptable, this is acceptable. Where do we get that standard? We reflect on that and we will explore on that. But At first, right now, what we need to understand is that life, as we established yesterday, life is sacred. We do not experiment on that. We do not violate that. It has meaning, it has value. And that value is intrinsic. That value is not cultural. Whatever culture you go, whatever generation you examine, all life is valuable. And we express our problems, we express our dismay, we express our discontent in life. What kind of life is this? There's so much suffering. We complain about that because it's valuable. Because we want it to be good. We want it to be joyful. In the Bible, you will see that in the book of Job, in the book of Psalms, there's so many complaints. Why do we complain? You only complain because you appeal to a standard. You don't like this because you believe it should be like this. And there's a standard in life because the value of life is measured intrinsically. It's based on our creation. It's based on our design. It's based on who created us. It's based on who designed us.